Barramundi! Barramundi! This is barramundi. These are very large barramundi. Yeah, typically barramundi is about maybe 75% smaller than this. But nonetheless, this is barramundi. It tastes really fantastic. Anyway, the wild products coming from Australia, it's about $15 a pound. Okay, it's very expensive. When I think of barramundi, I think of Australian barramundi. I think of the majority of people who know barramundi think of Australian barramundi. Okay? However, Thailand is kicking their game up. They're doing a really great job doing this aquaculture down there. Okay? So it's farm raised, sustainable, clean water. Okay? Everything about it is awesome. I wouldn't bring it to this. However, putting Thailand on the board is going to turn people off immediately. Okay? So when people ask you, like they did last night at Henderson, where's this fish from? You say, if you teach your servers, all about this, it's from Thailand. It's raised in an amazing aquaculture environment, and be proud of it. Don't say, it's from Thailand. You know, say it proudly. I'm not going to put it on the board, but if somebody asks you, I want you guys to say it proudly. It's from Thailand. It's farm-raised, sustainable product. They're doing an incredible job raising this fish. Okay, and I'll give you stats on the aquaculture farm over there. You guys know, when you're cooking seared fish, when you're searing fish that has the skin on, skin side first, okay? You want to develop that super crispy skin. If you do it the other way, your skin, the steam is going to sog your skin out and it's never going to get crispy, okay? You need to get that skin crispy right away, okay? You need to put it down very hot flat top, oil down, salt, kosher salt both sides, skin down. Sear the heck out of the skin. Get it nice and crispy, and then flip it over and then cook your fish. Okay. We're gonna make this lobster tarragon sauce. Now, this is the same sauce that we were using for the lobster cakes. Okay, this is a winner. This sauce goes really good with the lobster cakes. Goes really good with this barramundi prep as well. Okay, it's not good for everything, but it is good for this dish. So we'll go through it again. I know you guys have all made it. You guys are all masters at this sauce. I know you could probably do it in your sleep, but we'll go through it again so you get well-rounded on it. All right? So lobster tarragon sauce. Everybody on that recipe? All right. So I'm adding.
No, it's all good.
Yeah. Adding a little bit of oil because we're gonna brown our garlic. Okay, we're browning our garlic. I'm using a sauce pot. Okay, ideally I'd like to use a larger pot. Okay, but at your restaurant I've seen many people make it where they don't get that you got to do it in a large sauce pot. They try to do it in a saute pan or something. Okay, that doesn't work. The whole point of this dish is you're reducing the cream down, okay? Anybody knows what happens when you put cream into a hot pot and you boil it? It rises, right? It rises before it goes back down, okay? So if you put this in a saute pan and you try to reduce the cream, what's it gonna do? It's gonna boil over, exactly. So you need a high enough pan or a sauce pot, and I'm pretty sure that this will be okay, hopefully. But you need a big sauce pot, so when the cream comes up, it has time to hit that peak before it starts to come down without overflowing. All right, so while that's going, we're gonna talk about this risotto, okay? You guys go to the next page, there's a risotto recipe. It's just the same base recipe I wasn't seeing when I was going to your stores, okay? Storing is a huge issue. Okay? Storing this risotto is a very big issue. I would go to your stores and you would have the risotto laid out on sheet trays, sitting in the walk-in that has been sitting there for at least a day, if not 2 to 3 days. Okay? What's going to happen is the top part of that risotto that's sitting there is going to become super hard. It's going to become crunchy. Okay? No matter what you do, if you use that risotto in your dish, no matter how much liquid you put into that, it's still going to be crunchy. Okay? Then the guests are going to be mad because now they're going to have crunchy risotto and they're going to think that you didn't cook it properly. Okay? When in actuality, you probably cooked it properly, you just didn't store it properly. Okay? I heard a lot of that. Seen a lot of emails on crunchy risotto. Okay? So, what we need to be doing is as soon as you make the risotto, you lay it on the sheet tray, you put it in your walk-in, it cools down in probably a couple hours. Okay? As soon as it cools down, scoop it all off that sheet tray, put it into third pans, cover the third pans. Okay? That way your risotto will stay nice, your rice will stay nice and moist. Okay? It will never have a chance to develop that crispy, hard crunchiness on the top, and you'll look professional. You won't have a couple days old arborio rice sitting half cooking on your sheet rack. Okay? It needs to be put into third pans, labeled, and that's how we store it. Okay? Please, that's a big issue. Okay, let's store it like that. Another thing which I showed you guys last time, it's not on the recipe. Okay, Dan brought this up to us. It's not on the recipe, but I'm gonna tell you again. Okay, cooling down the risotto is a really big thing. Okay, if you just take it off the pot, lay it on a sheet tray, put it in your walk-in, you're gonna have overcooked risotto. All right, I showed you guys this last time. You lay it on the sheet tray, you take it from the pot, you lay it on the sheet tray, you even it out. You take a spatula, a rubber spatula, even it out so it's completely even. It's covering the entire, every single quarter inch of that sheet tray. Okay, it's covering every single inch. It's flat, it's level. Okay, and then we're gonna take our, so if this was our sheet tray with the risotto, it's all flat. We're gonna take our spatula and we're gonna dig lines into it. Okay, one way this way and another way this way. We're gonna make X marks in the risotto. Okay, what that's gonna do, that's gonna allow the middle part of the risotto. So when you're cooling down the risotto, the ends will cool down a lot quicker than the middle. Right? So now your ends are gonna be fine, but the middle of your sheet tray is gonna be overcooked. Right? So in order to combat that, that's why we cut into it, those squares. Now we got individual squares that are much easier to cool down rather than a whole big sheet tray. Okay? That's very important. Okay? And this recipe does not talk about that because I didn't know how to put that into words on a recipe that would be understandable for everybody. Okay? So I opted out to leave that out so it doesn't confuse everybody. But that's a very important part, and I want you guys to do it, and I want you to teach it to your cooks that are making it. Okay? So those two things, cooling down the risotto properly with those X marks, and then as soon as it's cool, taking it off that sheet tray, storing it into a third pan. Top on it, label it. Okay? Those are the very important things. All right, so with that being said, any other questions on risotto? On the chicken base, the chicken stock here, okay, there's a ratio for chicken stock. You guys should all have that recipe, the chicken stock recipe in your stores. There's a very strict ratio. Okay, I don't want to come into your stores and taste your chicken stock and it's like crazy salty because you guys didn't adhere to the ratio. Okay, there's a very strict ratio. The chicken base is very salty. Okay, we can't just put a bunch of it in and add water and expect it to come out great. Okay, it's 2 teaspoons of chicken base to 2 quarts of hot water. Okay, that's the recipe. That's the standard recipe. Okay, there's no deviation from that recipe. Our cream is reducing down. It's hit its peak. It's gone up. It's come back down. So now it's in the reducing phase. Okay, so we're gonna let that go a little longer. Seraphin already has the barramundi seared off. They're ready to go, cooked and everything. Okay, perfect. All right. let's start making the risotto. So one thing I left off on this risotto build, okay, is shallots. I have garlic on there, but I don't have shallots, okay? Please add shallots to your build when you're making your risotto. All right, so I got a saute pan. I got a pretty warm saute pan. I'm adding sliced garlic. Okay, I'm not adding chopped garlic, I'm adding sliced garlic. Huh? I'm gonna say like a teaspoon. Teaspoon of both. Teaspoon of garlic, teaspoon of shallots. Put them both in at the same time. Alright, I got my garlic and shallots in here. I'm going to saute them a little bit until they get golden brown. Okay, right now they're golden brown because my pan was quite hot. I'm adding my sweet peas to it. I don't want to add too much. I'll probably add about a tablespoon of sweet peas. These are thawed out sweet peas. Don't put frozen sweet peas in here, okay? They're thawed out. Okay, now I'm adding my rice, our cooked arborio rice. That should be in my third pan that's pulled off of my sheet pan. I'm adding about a half a cup arborio, approximately. I'm gonna get that rice all in there. As soon as I get that rice chunked up in there, I'm adding my chicken stock. I'm probably gonna add, what is this? Probably gonna add about 6 ounces of chicken stock to it. I want that to cook down. I'm gonna add some kosher salt to it. All right, while I got that going, cooking, my cream is perfect, it's reduced, so let's go back to the tarragon sauce recipe. We'll take it from, let's go from step 4. We're gonna add lobster base. All right, I call this a lobster tarragon sauce. There's no actual chunks of lobster in it, okay? Remember before, it's only the lobster base. I'm adding my lobster base, I'm adding my vanilla extract. And I'm adding my sugar to accent that flavor of the lobster. All right, Dave's whisking that up. As soon as we got that, he's got it all incorporated. He's taking it out the heat. Right now he's got the heat off. He's just incorporating all the ingredients. Okay? At this point, the lobster sauce is ready to go. Okay, my risotto is almost there. I want the risotto to have a nice creamy texture to it. Okay, I don't want it to be really stiff. I want it to be kind of loose, but not runny loose. Okay, so there's gonna be in between there. I'll show you what I'm looking for here in a sec. All right, I'm looking at this texture right here. You guys could kind of see this. Okay, it's a little loose right now. We're about to add some cheese to it. The cheese is going to thicken it up a little bit, and we're about to add some butter to it. Okay, so at that point, I'm not taking it off the heat. I'm leaving it on the heat, but at that thickness point, I'm adding my butter. Okay, I'm going to add about a tablespoon of butter. And I'm adding Parmesan cheese. Probably going to add about 2 tablespoons of Parmesan. Parmesan is what makes this risotto flavor taste awesome. Okay? So don't be shy on the Parmesan. Alright, I'm gonna whisk all that back into it. I'm gonna melt the cheese, I'm gonna melt the butter. The very last thing I'm going to do, I'm gonna add some lemon juice to it. The lemon juice added to this will bring out the brightness in it, okay? It'll just pop. It won't be dull, it won't be flat, it'll pop. Okay, you'll see what I mean when you taste it. So I'm adding about a half a lemon. Okay, another thing, when you guys are working on your line, have your line cooks have fresh lemons on line. Okay, everybody should have fresh lemons cut in half on line. I don't want it, when we're doing this specials, that lemon juice that we buy is terrible. Okay? It's downright terrible. It doesn't taste like lemon juice. It tastes kind of rancid, honestly. This is a real lemon. Okay, this is lemon juice. Have this on your line. Squeeze this fresh every time you need lemon juice in an online recipe. Okay, and that's going to add tremendous flavor to whatever you're putting in it. All right, so here's my final product. Okay, you can see how nice and creamy. Texture is beautiful. Okay, you guys all see that down there? That's risotto. Okay, that's what it should look like. It shouldn't be tight and hard. It shouldn't be soupy loose. It should be that nice, beautiful, creamy thing. Okay? Before I serve this to anybody, I'm gonna taste it. Okay? But I don't even know what it tastes like because I'm just trying to add this stuff in. Okay? I want to get you guys into the habit, and I want you guys to get your cooks in the habit tasting everything that they produce in the kitchen. If they're doing something like this, I want them to taste it before they put it out, okay? South Lake does an amazing job at that, okay? When I'm over at South Lake, what's your guy's name over there? Charlie? Charlie's the saute guy, and I've gotten them in the habit of tasting everything. I don't even have to tell him anymore. When I'm online, he's making something, he tastes it when it's done, and he gets that smile on his face. He's like, damn, that's good. I'm like, all right, let me have some. You're right, that's awesome. So that's the kind of pride and passion that we want our cooks to have. I don't want cooks to be mechanical. I want them to be robots, okay? Food is such a passionate thing that when they're making something, they need to take pride in what they're making, and they need to try it before they serve it to a guest, okay? If they try it and it's terrible, why are you gonna serve it to a guest, okay? Before it goes out to a guest, they should try it. If it tastes off, they have a chance to repair it before it goes out to their guest. Okay? That's going to develop pride in them, and that's going to develop that passion that we want in our cooks. And the customer's going to taste that. Okay? You're going to taste our pride and our passion that we have in our food. But it can't start unless we get our cooks in the habit of tasting everything. And that starts with getting you guys in the habit of tasting everything. Okay? So here we go. I'm tasting it. Really good. I'm not just saying that because I made it. It's really good. All right. So this is something I'm proud to serve to you guys now. All right. So here we go. I'm about to serve it to you. All right. So the plate up on this dish. I'm taking these this red beans and rice bowl. I'm putting the risotto on one side of the plate. Okay, then I'm taking my lobster tarragon sauce right here. I'm putting it face down or down on the plate beside it. I want my fish to sit on top of the sauce instead of my sauce to sit on top of the fish. And that's another thing. I want you guys to get in the habit when you guys are doing your specials. If you're doing a cream sauce or some heavy sauce, don't put it on top of your fish. Don't cover your fish up with a heavy sauce. Put it on the bottom, let your fish rest on top of it. Okay? Be proud of what that fish looks like, don't cover it up. Alright, so beautiful. Nice crispy skin. Taking this off, I'm going to put it right here at an angle. I have some macadamia nuts somewhere. You have it right here? I have chopped macadamia nuts. I just took some whole macadamia nuts. I bought these at the store. Cisco doesn't have some. Some reason, I don't know why. But you can all buy these very easily at your store, at the local store, grocery store. These were already toasted when I bought them. They came whole. All I did was take them. They were already toasted, put them in our blender. I chopped top. Taking a little bit of this macadamia nuts fit this dish really perfectly. Put it right on top of the fish, kind of at an angle. I got a little bit hanging out on my sauce over here, a little bit hanging out on my risotto. Okay, and I'm taking fresh tarragon. Okay, we all have used fresh tarragon, right? I hope so. So we're not delicious. All right, we're taking fresh tarragon, and I'm grabbing a little bit of lemon juice and a little bit of extra virgin olive oil right again. I'm using this as a garnish, but I want people to be able to eat it if they choose. A tiny bit.
Sir?
A little bit of salt. It's toss. And that's my garnish. It goes right on top of the plate right here. That's the dish. The taste of the passion in the risotto.
You're right about that lemon juice, Randy.
Brightens it, huh?